You planned to start writing at 8 a.m. You made your coffee, you opened your laptop, but somehow it's now 11:14 and all you've managed to do so far is scroll, sulk, snack and spiral. Sound familiar? You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're not failing at this whole PhD thing. You're just in pretty much the same boat as everyone who is doing a long, lonely and often overwhelming research project. And the truth is, you don't have to feel like doing something in order to be able to do it. Wild, I know, but stay with me. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Yardley, and I am here to help you realise that when it comes to finishing your PhD, there isn't some massive big secret. No magic tricks, no hacks, no morning routines. It is simply a process. It's one tiny step, followed by another tiny step and another tiny step. And I'm here to help you figure out what the next steps for you are. And very often, procrastination gets in the way of taking that next step or even identifying what that next step is. And that's why we're looking at it today. Before we get into it, if you are a serial procrastinator, and let's face it, most people are at some point on the PhD journey, then you might find my cheat sheet library helpful. It's full of quick wins like sentence starters, templates and planning tools to help you simply get started, especially when you really don't feel like it. So go and take a look. Here's the link appearing on the screen right now, and I will also pop it in the description for later. Now, let's get into it. Motivation. What motivation? Who has ever felt super motivated, super ready to work on their PhD on one of those days that you've set aside to work on your PhD? Like no one. A lot of the time you set aside to do PhD work, the time comes around, the day comes around, the time slot comes around, and you're like, meh. But you know what? There is never going to be that one magical moment where you feel 100% motivated, 100% focused. And it's not motivation that you actually need to make progress. It's momentum. That tiny, scrappy, messy little first step, that is how you generate momentum. That might be just opening the document. It might be reading through a few paragraphs. It might be doing a search on Google Scholar for some new literature. You just need to do that one tiny little thing that is going to open the door. Because let's be honest, most of the time, procrastination is about emotion. Most of the time, when you're procrastinating, you're not being disorganized or being lazy. You're feeling something uncomfortable, whether that's anxiety, fear of failure, imposter syndrome, overwhelm, perfectionism. And avoiding the task that you need to be getting on with is essentially your way of avoiding the feeling that goes with it. And that makes total sense when you think about it. Because who wants to sit down and start writing a chapter that they don't really know how to start? Who wants to start writing about a concept that they don't understand, they don't get? Who wants to look through supervisor feedback that made you cry? And when all of this is going on, your brain is doing its job, okay? It is keeping you safe. It is keeping you safe from the discomfort, from the negative feelings that you've come to associate with that particular task. But safe doesn't get the thing done, does it? And I just want to talk a bit about the whole comparison thing here. One of the biggest reasons that PhD students feel like they are failing is that they constantly compare themselves to other PhD students. And in the age of social media, where you've got these study with me until my candle burns out videos, you've got this kind of highlights reel, and you see people's desks and they're all perfectly organised with all their highlighters lined up and their beautiful, pristine notepads. That comparison thing can start to spiral really, really quickly. And you look at what other people are presenting about their PhD journey and you just feel like, oh, I don't belong here. I'm not organised like that. I'm not smart like them. And you can soon start this internal narrative that really does spiral very quickly. And you'll see somebody posting something like, I've just finished my sunrise journaling session and now I'm about to get into my 12 hours of study by candlelight. Whilst you're still kind of struggling to get going and wondering whether that packet of cookies that you swiped from last week's seminar constitutes food. Let me be really, really clear about this. These people who are making this content are not documenting reality. Their perfect morning routine is a highlight reel. It doesn't document the messy realities of the PhD journey that you're experiencing and indeed that they are experiencing off camera. They might not be doing as well as you think they are. Ask me how I know this. I didn't mean to go on as long as I did about that. But essentially, what I'm trying to say is that when you are looking at other people's PhD journeys as they are presented on social media, you are comparing your insides to their outsides, okay? And the thing that you've got to remember is that progress doesn't need to be pretty, okay? Progress isn't pretty. It's often messy. It's one step forward, two steps back. That's the reality of the PhD journey, and that is completely normal. Most people's PhD thesis looks an absolute state until around a month before they submit. That's just a fact, that's reality. Anyway, moving on. What do you do if you think that you've already wasted loads of time? So what if it is one of those days where you told yourself that you would start writing at 8 a.m, but it's now like 11:15 and you've done nothing? So you decide, well, to hell with it. I've ruined today. Might as well just write it off, start tomorrow. If you want to do that, that's fine. But just hear me out. You haven't ruined anything. You haven't wasted anything. You've just had a bit of a wobbly start to the day. It doesn't mean you can't do something now or in an hour or after lunch. And plans are great, okay? Plans are great, but they're not contracts. They're not legally binding. No one is going to tell you off for not getting into it at 8 a.m. Apart from you, because you're probably telling yourself off about that. So stop telling yourself off, because you made the plan, you can change the plan. You can say to yourself, okay, fair enough, 8 o'clock didn't really work out for me today, but that's fine, let's go for a 1 p.m. start instead. Late starts still count. A late start is still a start, okay? A half-written paragraph is still some writing. Getting back into it at 3 p.m, that still counts. And one of the best ways to break out of a procrastination loop is to just lower your expectations. Just take the pressure off yourself. So instead of saying, I have to write this whole chapter today, maybe say you're going to do the outline today and you're going to write some of it today. You're going to write 500 words of it today. Once you start, once you get into something, your brain kind of shifts gears and you end up doing more than you thought. But even if you don't, it's fine, because the tiny steps that you've taken are still going to move the needle forward. Tiny, doable tasks get you unstuck. And that is where things like the cheat sheet library can come in. Because when you don't know what to write or where to start, that blank screen and that flashing cursor can feel like the enemy. But when you've got a series of sentence starters, or you've got an outline, a structure, or a guide that says, here's exactly how to write your abstract without losing your mind, things just feel a little bit less overwhelming. It gives you a way in. It pushes that door open. So you don't have to generate something from scratch when you're already like, ah. Now, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to hear this in the audio, but it does sound really loud to me. A ginger cat has just gate crashed my filming session. And he's currently lying on the floor down there. He's not even my cat, he lives up the road. But he's super cute and I don't have the heart to chuck him out, so I'm just going to carry on regardless. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the overlap between perfectionism and procrastination in just a moment. But before I do, I want to hear from you in the comments. What is your go-to procrastination activity right now? Mine is a weird one. Urban explorer videos on YouTube, especially the ones that have got a kind of ghost hunting, haunted element in them. Exploring with Josh, the bearded explorer, love them. So when you're procrastinating, what are you doing? Let me know in the comments. And we can have a little chat down there, because adding comments to the Degree Doctor YouTube channel, that is a perfectly legitimate procrastination activity. It just is. Anywho, perfectionism. Another thing I want to talk about is perfectionism. Your PhD doesn't need you to be perfect. It doesn't need you to write perfectly. It just needs you to be present. Procrastination, it thrives on this all or nothing thinking that comes along with perfectionism. I didn't do it exactly as I planned, so it doesn't count. I tried to start at 8 a.m. today, and now it's 11:15 and I've done nothing, so I might as well just throw in the towel. I planned to record a YouTube video today, but my session just got gate crashed by a ginger cat, so I'm just going to give up. Here's a reframe, okay? Progress is not linear. It's weird, it's patchy, it's boring, and sometimes it's really slow. Like frustratingly slow. Sometimes it's the paragraph that's taken you a week to write. But that paragraph is still a paragraph. It's still work that you've done. It's still stuff that you've written. It's still part of your journey to finishing your PhD. Remember I said at the start about the PhD, getting it finished. It's not about some big breakthrough or some massive secret. It is about tiny step after tiny step after tiny step. And all of these steps count. And the fact that you just kind of shuffled forward today instead of leaping forward, it's still progress. Try this the next time that you're stuck in that procrastination loop. So if you're watching this whilst procrastinating, I see you, no judgment. Try this process to get back on track. First up, name the feeling. Is it dread? Is it overwhelm? Is it confusion? Because naming it takes some of its power away. Take a tiny action. Open the document, write one sentence, read one paragraph, keep it small. Use a tool. Grab a sentence starter document from the cheat sheet library or go online and find a free planner. Set a timer. So work for 5 or 10 minutes and say to yourself, if I still don't feel up for it after that, I'm going to stop. You've still done 5 to 10 minutes. That is still something. And celebrate the win. Yes, seriously, even when you've done something really small, congratulate yourself for it. You fought the resistance, you did something, and that's what matters. You are not a machine, okay? You are a human doing something that is incredibly demanding. Some days you might feel like a productivity superhero. Other days you'll feel like a potato. Both are valid. And the goal shouldn't be to feel motivated all of the time. The goal should be to find ways to keep going even when you don't. And that's why I made the cheat sheet library. It's to help people take that next tiny step. So go to the link in the description, go take a look. Appearing on your screen right now is another video that you might find helpful if you enjoyed this one. It's all about that little buddy of procrastination, perfectionism. So if you are a bit of a perfectionist, if you have those tendencies, go and check that out. I'll see you in there. What are you up to? Honestly. Say hello to everyone. Say hello. Yeah, I'm off. I'm off now. Got the attention I wanted.